Good evening, everyone. Episode 28. No Limits, Mike and Stace.
Hi, all.
Hi, all.
Hello, all. Friday night.
We're Friday night. We're on location in the backyard. It's chilly evenings. We have a fire going.
October.
We were going to go to a haunted mine, but when we were done with dinner, it was too early. So we said, well, we'll do the mine tomorrow. Come home, we'll build a fire. You heard about the mine tour in Colorado, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier.
All right, and you still want me to go on a mine tour?
Yep.
Okay.
Makes it even more scary, right?
Yeah.
Are we gonna make it out? Aren't we? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Happy Halloween.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. If we never do another podcast,
there you go.
You know something happened in mine.
Yep.
Oh my. So Stace has been doing a lot of work on Facebook and growing the following base.
Yeah.
However it's said, proper English. Good job. So
Thank you.
If any of our new followers are listening, hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Or
we appreciate you.
Or is what I said to the woman at the liquor store. Well, hi, because she was not being very personable whatsoever. So
she's been a Krabby Patty.
She was definitely being a Krabby Patty. So when she looked up, I said, "Well, hi."
That's funny.
She didn't find it funny.
Well,
I did, and the guy behind me really found it funny.
And then you telling the story to me, I also found it funny. So there you go.
So welcome to any newbies listening to us. This is what we do. We sit outside. We drink some beer, which we are doing. We're drinking beer.
Yep.
We have a fire going, so you'll hear some cars going by because there's a road over the hill. You hear the bugs in the background, and every once in a while we'll pause when we see a meteor shooting across the sky because we always looking up at the sky.
Hopefully see the northern lights, right?
Yeah. We saw, 2 meteors so far?
Yeah. Good night.
Yeah. I think last night we sat out with a fire and we were watching. We saw a shit ton of meteors.
Yeah, there were definitely a good many.
And I don't even think it was one of the special meteor nights.
Yeah. I don't know.
So tonight's topic, we're going to discuss the Great Divide. And the Great Divide, we've been exposed. I don't want to say we learned a lot, but we've been exposed to a lot. We have our Facebook page up. We have our X, formerly Twitter, up. And it's been very enlightening, to say the least. We knew that there was a great divide, in this country. And it's really, comes down to, which is sad because it was never supposed to be this way. It's Republicans against Democrats. And I fully blame the government and the media.
Yeah, 100%.
For it, because it's appalling. Some of the stuff I've seen. There's media going from right to left.
Yep.
The posts that you make are never attacking anyone.
Right.
You're stating, fact, opinion, whatever, or just, posting something.
Yeah.
It's never a personal attack. The amount of personal attacks that I've seen, that you've told me about, that you've gotten rid of before I could see them.
Yeah. I'm not here for that.
It's quite shocking.
And it's frustrating
Mm-hmm.
because it's like I have just as much right. We have just as much right to our opinions as they do theirs. You do you, friend. I mean, but that's pretty much how I feel. But don't be coming at me. I'm not coming at you because believe me, the things that I could go at, just basically what they're saying about Trump is this and Trump is that. Dude, I don't care. I don't know him personally. I don't care to know him personally. All I know is facts. And I know the 4 years that he was in there, what our world looked like. And I know the 4 years that this circus that's been going on. I know. And the 8 years prior to Trump as well. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah.
It's all factual. This is all things that we can see. But they just come at you with like things that they're hearing. We're all hearing this BS on commercials, on the news, on all these networks. I'm not saying that, quite frankly, I don't feel like any of what we're seeing is truth on either side. That's when it comes in that you kind of have to delve a little bit deeper, do your research, so to speak, and kind of just look into each party, what their policies are, what they're not necessarily saying that their policies are, but let's kind of go back and look as what it's been, because her values haven't changed. Just saying.
Well, one of the most important piece of advice that I can give anybody listening out there is, if you hear a commercial and it says a quote, or it plays a snippet of the other person, whether it be, Kamala or Trumpy, saying something, you really need to dig in and find out what the whole sentence and the whole topic was.
Yeah.
Because they will take a little snippet, and it happens on both sides.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
You're absolutely correct. It happens on both sides. You take a little snippet and twist it, into something extremely negative.
Sure.
But we're in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody knows anything about Pennsylvania, you have to be, so we consider we are registered as Republicans, but I think we both consider ourselves as independents.
Yes.
Because we have views on both sides, which I guarantee you 75% of the country feels the same way.
It's 2024. Like, it's not how it used to be, where it was completely red or completely blue. I mean, I think there's a lot of purple going on.
The far left and the far right, that doesn't have a place in this country anymore.
Right.
You have to, be somewhere in the middle. And the reason we are, registered Republicans, and we primarily vote Republican, is in Pennsylvania, you can't vote in a primary unless you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. So you have to choose.
It's like, wait a second. So, okay. So, well, I'm not going to register as a Democrat. I'm going to register as a Republican because I know that when a Republican's in office, quite frankly, our bank account's better.
Yeah.
I mean, let's tell it like it is.
Right.
But, the government, you still have in the government, and that, I will say Trump is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The far right. There's so many of them, and there's still so many of the far left.
Yeah, but I'm going to jump in.
Yep.
Look at the age of these folks.
Yep.
I mean, that was a different time. Times are not like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have a lot of the older people one way or the other. Which, look, if those are your points of views, in either way, 100%, that's your point of view. You are entitled to that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't come at me because first of all, you're just saying that I'm a Trump supporter. So you put me in a box. Don't fucking put me in a box. I don't believe me. I don't fit in no box.
Right.
And just because it's like a checklist, well, you're this and you're that and you're that because you support Trump. Okay, well, you're 100% wrong. I'd love to just sit down. I'd love to sit down with a couple of Democrats and have a conversation. Not an argument, not a debate, just a conversation. And I'd love to sit down with a couple of Republicans as well. Get both sides 100%. Their points of views. And automatically people go to attack, like, oh, you're on that side, or you're on this side. Why are we on sides, people? When did it become sides? You know when it became sides? When they started separating us and putting us into boxes. Well, you were this, and this. No, we're not. And I assure you that most people are not.
No. Yeah, I said, I'm one of the few posts that I did on Facebook, we the people, by the people, for the people. We need to get back to that, and we really do. The government, works so hard to divide us, and I don't know. I don't know how many. It was a few months ago, but. Being in Pennsylvania, one of the senators is Lurch, so John Fetterman.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple months ago, him and I don't remember who else it was, but they came out with this initiative. And I think it was, Make Stuff Here.
Right.
Is what it was called. And oddly enough, Lurch, he leans at times a little more independent than he does.
He's also, you got to look at his age.
Yeah.
He's probably Gen X, I would say. So, I mean, we see things differently.
Yeah. So, he was out campaigning for UG, Kamala. I saw on X, he was posting, all these pictures of him and campaigning for her and all of that. So I actually asked him on one of his posts about the Make Stuff Here. I'm like, because he dropped it. He had one interview about it and then he dropped it. Mm-hmm. Boom, done. Never heard about it again. Which the initiative, I could have supported.
Right.
Yes, Make Stuff Here.
Yes.
100%.
Right.
Make Stuff Here.
Right.
They launched an initiative and boom, done. You never heard about it again. So I asked him about it. Crickets. Yeah. I haven't heard a damn thing.
Of course not.
Yep. So come on, guys.
Right. What's so frustrating about all of it is I really am not a fan of this whole sides, us versus them.
No.
Automatically, they're like, oh, you're one of them. One of what? One of you. Just because I'm not a Democrat, I'm still a human being. And it doesn't mean that, honestly, if we sat down and chatted, that I probably have more liberal points of views than you do. but they don't want to hear it, right?
No.
They don't want to hear it at all. They just say, "Oh, you're voting for that." You know what I think that we all need to get back to is, and unfortunately, and we've discussed this, you and myself, regarding how, like, getting back to September 12th.
Yep.
But the sad thing of it is, at this point, is that most of us that remember that day that plays in our minds, and I say September 12th because it's the day after, right? When we were all just one. Didn't matter what your political affiliation was. You were an American. We were all one team.
It will take something like that again.
And it's a shame.
And it is. It's a damn shame.
It's a life-altering event that happened to our country, and we were wounded. But the thing of it is that the pieces got picked up, life moved on, and most of these people now that are of voting age and older than voting age, to be quite honest, they don't remember. They didn't watch that happen in real time like we did. Mm-hmm. And so many things just get forgotten. And it's really kind of sad. America is wounded.
Yes. I think that is, probably the best way to put it. America is wounded. We have, two sides where there shouldn't be two sides. Neither one of the candidates are going to, bring, this country together. Was there a right candidate out there to do so?
Ron DeSantis.
I don't.
Did you hear what I said?
You said Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
I'm a big DeSantis supporter.
Well, go ahead and say what you're going to say.
I don't think he could have done it either. As much,
not in 4 years. I don't.
As much as I am a Ron DeSantis supporter, I don't think that he could have done it either. We need somebody.
You know where it starts? It starts at home. It starts at home with the kids, who then grow up to be adults. We are now looking at the trophy generation, who think that they can say whatever they want behind a keyboard, and there are no consequences for them. Mm-hmm. And you and I'll go ahead and throw this out there. We'll touch on it a little wee bit. We can always circle back, do a whole nother episode on it. But you and I had also discussed the fact about people who are on their phones all the time, mm-hmm. and who aren't, who don't pay attention to their kids.
Yeah, they're not present. Yep.
And so here you go. It's just going to continually get worse,
mm-hmm.
as these kids are being raised by screens.
You got that right.
So values, morals, having empathy for others, it's not being taught anymore. And it's very obvious when we're in public.
Yeah. And I agree that it starts at home, but you also have to have money, because in this day and age, the way it works is you have a two-party system. Mm-hmm. You have Democrats, you have Republicans. Mm-hmm. It'd be very difficult for an independent, a true independent, to raise enough money to compete with a Democrat or a Republican. And that's a damn shame that it's gotten to this point.
Look how much money Trump has, and I still feel like the last election was bought. Mm-hmm. I'll stand by that forever. That last election was 100% bought. And if she gets in here, that solidifies it right there. There's no way that she's going to get in there without greenbacks.
No. No.
And so there you go.
Yeah, that's...
kind of goes back on that book that I started listening to, the audiobook, mm-hmm. regarding Marxism. Mm-hmm. All these terminologies getting thrown out there, and you know me in the rabbit hole.
I do know
I like
you
to
in the
learn
rabbit
as
hole.
much about all of this stuff as I can. So that book wasn't available to read, so I borrowed the audiobook, and here we go. Here we go.
Now you're learning all about it.
Kind of wish that I wasn't.
Yeah. It's
really sad.
It is. It's. I don't know. It is really sad, and we need somebody. And it can't be just one person. I say somebody, but it needs to be multiple somebodies. Need to start stepping up. We have to figure out a way without another 9/11 to bring this country together.
But it's not about us anymore. We just feed the government piggy bank. Yeah. It's not about us anymore at all. It stopped being about us a long time ago.
We need that overhaul. And
we do. And therein comes the silent majority, which a lot of us just sit back because we don't want the backlash. And when I say we, I definitely am not speaking for myself.
Yeah.
But
that's gotta be a military helicopter.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Kamala. Maybe is she touring here again? Guaranteed.
I think I think Vance is in Jonestown.
Okay. We're guaranteeing that thing ain't electric.
No, it ain't fucking electric at all.
We're expected to run on electric, but they're kind of like do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, but the grid can't handle it either. We're supposed to run on electric, and the grid can't fucking handle it.
Sickening.
Come on now.
Right.
It's absurd.
Yeah. All I know is I personally cannot wait until November 6th, till all this business is completely and entirely over, because I've seen a side of humanity that I wish I hadn't. Yeah. And quite frankly, it's absolutely sickening.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see, because it's we the people.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see we the people stand up and if we have to get, multiple attorneys involved, audit the fucking government. I would love to have an independent audit of the fucking government.
Mm-hmm. It would be interesting for sure. Because I'm sure that there's a lot of things that are hidden or off the books.
So one thing, and we haven't done the research yet, but I know that one thing I want to discuss in a future podcast is the net worth of people before they get into Congress, and then
I actually have a
5 years later.
Yeah,
I mean that's because I know it's fucking astounding.
It is astounding. And where's that money coming from?
Right. So we won't talk too much about
we'll say that
because
topic
I really do want to do another one, but I would love for us, the people, to demand, and like I say, if we have to get attorneys involved, which probably would, because essentially you have to sue the government to audit them.
Right.
You don't want the fucking IRS to do it. We want somebody independent to do it. I think that would be probably the first step in taking our country back.
Yeah.
Is that the second step in taking our country back would be, I hear a lot about, the border security bill that Trump killed.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, Trump did tell Republicans to kill that particular bill. That particular bill did not close the border. It still allowed 5,000 illegal immigrants a day to come through. That's why Trump killed that bill.
Mm-hmm.
all you hear about is, Trump killed that bill. All these other bills that are passed, they'll call it, the infrastructure bill. So that was supposed to, do all these repairs to the roads, bridges, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Oh, and it also gave billions to Ukraine and Taiwan and all these other places.
Uh-huh.
But it was the infrastructure bill. No,
right.
I want the people to start demanding one single bill
right.
for one fucking thing. Because once the government becomes transparent, that's when you start taking back your country.
Well, and what's so frustrating? What we heard about the people in North Carolina only getting $750.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's nothing left. Because it is going to Ukraine and elsewhere. And here's what's so frustrating. I consider it the big old government, the piggy bank, right? We all pay into that piggy bank. They see our money before we do, right?
Yep.
That's our goddamn money that's going in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't even help our own. Seriously? Again, sickening. And we should all be in an uproar regarding that. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That is supposed to be for... I'm all for whatever. Like, I don't know about a lot of the things that go on in the government and whatnot. And nor, that's why they get paid the big bucks. Right? But something just isn't adding up. $750, and what we've heard, of course, on the podcast that we listen to, from people who are actually there, that nobody has internet connection, or had, right? Because this was like a week ago, so nobody even had internet connection, and you had to go online and file for it. Like, they didn't just hand out $750 cash. Nobody even had a computer, let alone internet. Everything that they owned was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, there were whole little towns washed away.
But our government's the first one to rub shoulders with a completely different country and be like, we got you, but we don't even have our own.
Right.
That really frustrates me.
America is definitely wounded.
And,
as you said.
This kind of circles back to, Punch gives it on back to, essentially diversity is the correct term that I want to use here, where people attack other people because of their political affiliation. It is the Dems that are attacking the Republicans for this, or at least in our personal experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you need different people in this world. You need diversity. That's what makes America so friggin' great, is how diverse it is and how different everybody thinks. And if we collaborated together, imagine how great that could be.
Yeah.
But everybody is just like, well, you don't think like me, so I'm not here for it. Why? Is my question. Why? It's okay to not think the same. If we all thought the same, this world would be pretty friggin' boring. It is the difference in all of us and the diversity in America that I, quite frankly, like I said, I think it makes it so great. We all should be celebrating this, not fighting against it or fighting against others who are different.
Agreed.
That's my 2 cents regarding that.
Your 2 cents.
My 2 cents, that's my dime.
No. Yeah, inflation. Come on now.
Exactly.
It's not 2 cents anymore.
Maybe we could circle it on back whenever Trumpy gets back in there. It'll be about 4 cents. But currently, the current administration, it's a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening out there that wants to audit the government, let us know. Because I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but we will, do another one where we, dive into the net wealth or net worth of, politicians. And look, we're going to look at Democrats and Republicans for this. Their net worth
Yeah, it's
before
across
they
the
get
board.
in few years, after they're already in, and their salary is public knowledge.
Yeah.
So, that'll tell you, everything you need to know. So that'll be on the future when we have some time to actually do some research. So
That way, what we're saying is factual.
yep.
No fake news here.
I make sure we have the facts. So, but
Yeah,
I think that's, pretty good for the evening.
I think so too. Thank you again to all of our new followers, and welcome.
Yeah. You can find us, this podcast available on Pandora, iHeart, Podbean, who we set it up through.
Yep.
YouTube Music,
Yep.
it's on there as well. So you can find us on Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter. But with that all said, Mike and Stace signing off.
Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.